People know the cost of living keeps rising, but in some cities it's going to climb so fast that they'll be completely out of reach for many people by the end of the decade. Between soaring housing prices, higher taxes, and demand that keeps outpacing supply, certain metros are already on track to become unaffordable by 2030. In this video, we're looking at the top 10 cities in the USA that will be unaffordable by the start of the next decade. These aren't just guesses, they're based on trends in home prices, rent growth, and cost of living that are already pushing people out. If you live in one of these cities, you might want to start planning now. At number 10 is Denver, Colorado. Denver has seen incredible growth over the past 2 decades, fueled by its outdoor lifestyle, strong job market, and growing tech scene. Home prices have more than doubled since 2012, and rent isn't far behind. The city's location near the Rockies keeps it attractive to newcomers, but that demand is putting serious pressure on the housing market. The once affordable neighborhoods near downtown have transformed into high-priced zones, and even outer suburbs are seeing sharp increases. By 2030, experts expect Denver's median home price to be far above the national average, with property taxes and everyday costs following right behind. Energy bills are climbing, and grocery prices have risen faster than in many comparable cities. Even now, many locals are moving farther into the suburbs just to afford a home, and if trends continue, living close to the city center will be an option only for high earners or those willing to take on heavy debt. At number 9, we have Nashville, Tennessee. Nashville's music scene, vibrant downtown, and strong job growth have made it one of the fastest growing cities in the country. But that growth comes with a cost. Housing prices have skyrocketed, and rent increases show no signs of slowing down. Homes that sold for under $200,000 a decade ago are now pushing $500,000, and competition among buyers is fierce. Tennessee's lack of a state income tax has drawn in even more people from across the country, which is driving up demand in both the home buying and rental markets. Many longtime residents are already being priced out of the neighborhoods they grew up in. By 2030, Nashville's affordability advantage will be gone, replaced by high prices that could rival those in major coastal metros. At number 8 is Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix has been one of the hottest housing markets in the country, with demand fueled by people moving from more expensive states like California and Washington. While housing is still cheaper than in Los Angeles or San Francisco, it's rising fast, and water scarcity could push costs even higher in the future. Home prices have climbed nearly 60% since 2018, and rents are also hitting record highs. The city's rapid population growth is straining everything from roads to utilities, often leading to higher taxes and fees. Extreme summer heat is also driving up electricity bills, adding another layer of cost to living here. By 2030, Phoenix could lose the affordability edge that made it such a popular migration destination, leaving many priced out of the city's most desirable areas. Coming in at number 7 is Austin, Texas. Austin's reputation as a live music capital and tech hub has brought in waves of new residents, but housing supply hasn't kept up with demand. Prices have surged so quickly that Austin is now one of the least affordable cities in Texas. Even smaller homes in modest neighborhoods are selling for $500,000 or more, and property taxes in the area are among the highest in the state. By 2030, many experts believe Austin will be priced more like San Diego than a typical Texas city. Rising food costs, higher insurance premiums, and increasing utility rates are adding to the pressure. Unless there's a significant slowdown in demand or a dramatic expansion in housing supply, Austin will keep moving further out of reach for average earners. At number 6 is Miami, Florida. Miami has always been known for its luxury condos and high-end real estate, but in the past decade, prices have exploded across every housing type. International investment, out-of-state buyers, and limited land supply have driven housing costs higher, and once affordable neighborhoods are now out of reach for many locals. Add in the rising cost of flood insurance, property taxes, and general living expenses, and Miami is on track to be one of the most expensive cities in the country by 2030. The city's popularity with wealthy investors and retirees means that competition for desirable properties will remain fierce, and even middle-class families will be pushed to outlying areas. Breaking into the top 5 is Seattle, Washington. Seattle's strong tech industry and scenic location have made it a magnet for talent, but the cost of living has exploded. Home prices are among the highest in the nation, and rents continue to climb despite significant new construction in recent years. The median home price now hovers near $900,000, and single-bedroom apartments often rent for over $2,000 a month. By 2030, Seattle could rival San Francisco in terms of housing costs if current trends hold. On top of high housing expenses, sales taxes, utility rates, and parking costs are climbing as well. Many middle-income earners are already finding it difficult to stay in the city, leading to an exodus into the suburbs, which are themselves becoming more expensive. At number 4, we have Los Angeles, California. Los Angeles has never been cheap, but over the next 5 years, its cost of living is expected to rise even faster than the national average. Housing demand is intense, inventory is limited, and high property taxes keep prices out of reach for many. The average home price in LA County is already above $900,000, and rents are climbing at double-digit rates in some neighborhoods. By 2030, only high-income households will be able to comfortably afford living in the more desirable parts of LA. The shift toward long-term renting is expected to push demand for apartments even higher, and rising gas prices will make commuting from more affordable areas even more costly. At number 3 is San Diego, California. San Diego combines beautiful beaches, a strong economy, and near-perfect weather, but those perks come at a premium. The median home price has already crossed the $1 million mark in many neighborhoods, and rents are climbing steadily. By 2030, San Diego could see even higher demand as climate migration brings more people to the coast. Limited space for new construction will keep supply tight, and that will push both home prices and rents to levels that will make it nearly impossible for middle-income families to buy or even rent comfortably. At number 2 is San Francisco, California. San Francisco has long been one of the most expensive cities in the country, and it's not slowing down. Even with some residents leaving during the remote work shift, the tech sector and limited housing supply keep prices extremely high. The median home price remains well over $1.3 million, and renting a modest apartment often costs more than $3,500 a month. By 2030, the combination of housing scarcity, high taxes, and steep everyday costs will make San Francisco even more exclusive. For most people, living here will mean sacrificing space, savings, or both just to remain in the city. And at number 1 is New York City, New York. New York already has some of the highest rents in the country, and demand shows no sign of cooling. From Manhattan to Brooklyn and even parts of Queens, prices are climbing well above the national average, and bidding wars are common in both the rental and home buying markets. By 2030, experts predict that middle-income families will struggle to afford housing anywhere near the city center. Combined with rising utility costs, transportation expenses, and taxes, New York will remain a place where only the wealthy can comfortably live. Even now, many residents are leaving for nearby states, but prices in those areas are starting to climb as well. These 10 cities are all on a clear trajectory toward higher costs and shrinking affordability, and the patterns driving those changes aren't showing signs of slowing down. Population growth, limited housing supply, and rising demand from both domestic and international buyers are combining to create markets where competition for homes is fierce and prices are pushed higher year after year. Even in places that are trying to build more housing or invest in infrastructure, the pace of growth is often too slow to keep up with the number of people moving in. If you're planning a move, thinking about where to retire, or considering real estate investment, understanding these trends now can help you make decisions that protect your financial future. Acting before prices climb even higher can mean the difference between securing a property in a desirable area and being priced out altogether. The earlier you identify the direction these markets are heading, the more options you'll have, and the better prepared you'll be when competition and costs inevitably rise.